The air in the private terminal at Incheon is thin, vibrating with the low-frequency hum of a Gulfstream G650 waiting on the tarmac. It's 3 a.m. In the industry, we call this the ghost hour, the only time when the world's most scrutinized humans can breathe without a lens pressed against the glass. But even here, the tension is a physical weight. 7 silhouettes move through the shadows, flanked by handlers whose earpieces crackle with the frantic energy of a high-stakes extraction. You've seen the blurry fan cam footage, you've read the leaked flight manifests, but as a decade-long insider, I can tell you, this wasn't just a business trip, this was a tactical maneuver. Behind the polished veneer of global brand ambassadors and the swirling rumors of a cinematic Arirang music video set against the crimson dunes of the Al Marmoom Desert lies a much darker, more fascinating psychological chess match. You see, the world views BTS as a seamless monolith of synchronized perfection. But look closer. In the boardroom, they are a billion-dollar liability of creative freedom, constantly clashing against the steel walls of corporate control. Every movement in Dubai was a calculated risk. The handlers aren't just managing schedules, they are trying to contain 7 distinct psychological archetypes, each with their own brand of rebellion, their own definition of loyalty, and their own breaking point. Why Dubai? Why now, when the stakes for their legacy have never been higher? Is this the birth of a new artistic era, or is it the ultimate gilded cage designed by a desert kingdom? Tonight, we peel back the skin of the K-pop industry's most guarded secret. We aren't just looking for clues, we are profiling the geniuses who refuse to be tamed. Who represents the rigid order that keeps the machine running? Who is the spark of chaos that threatens to burn the contract to the ground? And most importantly, what happened in those luxury suites that the cameras weren't allowed to see? Number 7. RM Kim Namjoon. The architect of the gilded panopticon and the burden of the crown. Inside the quiet vacuum of the first-class cabin, Kim Namjoon doesn't sleep, he deconstructs. To the corporate handlers at Hybe and the royal stakeholders in Dubai, he is the primary point of contact, the bridge between an ancient Korean soul and a futuristic Middle Eastern vision. But the psychological profile of the leader is far more fractured than his diplomatic smile suggests. In our internal dossiers, RM represents the apex of order, the man who must translate the chaotic, raw impulses of his 6 brothers into a language that investors can digest, yet this is his greatest source of internal friction. Imagine the weight of being the intellectual anchor for a billion-dollar entity while standing in the middle of a desert that was built on the very capitalism you subtly critique in your lyrics. During the secret Dubai expedition, RM wasn't just scouting locations for the Arirang MV, he was negotiating the terms of their autonomy. While the handlers viewed the Dubai brand contract as a tightening of the leash, a requirement for the group to become the faces of a desert utopia, RM was seen late at night in the hotel library, surrounded by text on Islamic architecture and nomadic history, looking for a way to subvert the corporate narrative. He is the one who agrees to the suit and the tie so that the others don't have to, making him the ultimate ordered rebel. The tension in Dubai was palpable. Every time a handler moved to overschedule the members, it was Namjoon who stepped into the line of fire, using his intellect as a shield. But the cost of being the mediator is a mounting sense of isolation. As he stared out at the Burj Khalifa, he wasn't looking at a landmark. He was looking at a mirror of his own life, a towering achievement that is perpetually at risk of being swayed by the winds of external expectation. He is the glue that prevents the Arirang project from becoming a soulless commercial, insisting on a cinematic depth that honors the Han or the collective sorrow and triumph of the Korean people, even if it complicates the million-dollar shots the brand partners demanded. His obedience is a tactical choice, a necessary sacrifice to ensure the group's survival, but as we observed him on that tarmac, the cracks in the Philosopher King's armor were beginning to show, proving that even the strongest pillar can buckle when it's forced to hold up the sky for everyone else. Number 6. Suga Min Yoongi, the silent architect of the resistance, and the ghost in the corporate machine. If Namjoon is the diplomat negotiating at the front door, Min Yoongi is the one rewiring the security system from the basement. In the high-stakes theater of the Dubai Arirang project, Suga represents the ultimate form of controlled chaos, a man who understands that in a world of absolute corporate surveillance, silence is the only true privacy. During the flight, while the handlers obsessively reviewed the brand's image guidelines, which dictated everything from the angle of a jawline to the brand of watch on a wrist, Yoongi sat with his cap pulled low, his laptop glowing with a composition software that shouldn't have been open. To the handlers, he is the difficult one, the member who refuses to perform enthusiasm for the sake of a camera. But to a psychological profiler, he is the group's grounding wire. In Dubai, the tension between his creative freedom and the corporate control of the brand deal reached a fever pitch. Reports from the inner circle suggest that Yoongi flatly refused certain high-glamour shots in the desert dunes, arguing that they lacked the dirt and grit necessary for the soul of an Arirang rendition. He isn't rebellious for the sake of being difficult. He is rebellious because he is the guardian of the group's artistic integrity. While the handlers tried to tame him with luxury and gold-plated amenities, Yoongi remained an anomaly, a ghost who would disappear into his portable studio for 20 hours at a time, emerging only to deliver a sonic landscape that was far more haunting and complex than the commercial pop the stakeholders expected. He is the one who reminds the group that they are musicians first and products second, often using his D-Day persona to push back against the sanitization of their image. His role in the success of the Dubai mission was critical because he provided the friction. Without his refusal to be a perfect idol, the project would have lost its edge. He is the personification of the Cold War within BTS, a man who gives the corporation exactly what they paid for, but embeds a hidden message within the frequency that only the true fans can hear. Number 5. J-Hope, Jung Ho-sok, the precision-engineered commander of the desert sands and the general in velvet. If you think Jung Ho-sok is just the sunshine of the group, you haven't been paying attention to the power dynamics behind the scenes. In the psychological theater of the Dubai operation, J-Hope represents the most lethal form of Order the Enforcer. While Namjoon handles the philosophy, Ho-sok handles the physics. And during the filming of the Arirang MV under the blistering 104-degree heat of the Emirates, he was the one who kept the entire machine from grinding to a halt. To the handlers, he is a dream because of his terrifyingly high standards of professionalism, but to a profiler, his obedience is actually a form of dominance. He doesn't follow the corporate schedule because he's a subordinate. He follows it because he demands perfection, and if the corporation isn't moving fast enough, he becomes the storm. On the set in Dubai, we saw the dual nature of J-Hope. One moment, he's the smiling brand ambassador for a luxury house. The next, he's a drill sergeant with eyes like flint, correcting a backup dancer's finger placement for the 100th time. The handlers fear him more than the rebels because Ho-sok knows the system better than they do. He used the Dubai contract as a weapon of efficiency, ensuring that if the group was going to sell out for a brand, the production value would be nothing less than historic. He is the bridge between the chaos of the younger members and the rigid expectations of the Middle Eastern stakeholders. When the heat threatened to break the staff, it was Ho-sek's relentless rhythmic drive that forced everyone back into position. He represents the corporate weaponization of art, the realization that to stay free, you must be more disciplined than the people trying to control you. His specific type of obedience is necessary because he provides the structure that allows the others to be chaotic. Without his terrifying grip on the choreography and the timeline, the Arirang project would have collapsed into a disorganized mess of sand and missed cues. He is the master of the mask, a man who has perfected the art of performing for the world while maintaining a private, steel-bound resolve that no handler can ever truly touch. Number 4. Jin, Kim Sok-jin, the court jester in the high-security vault, and the art of strategic non-compliance. In the high-stakes psychological warfare of the Dubai mission, Kim Sok-jin is the ultimate wild card, the man who uses the order of his status as the eldest to mask a brilliant, calculated chaos. To the handlers, Jin is often seen as the easiest to manage because of his polite demeanor and disarming humor, but our insider profiles reveal that this is his most effective camouflage. During the secret Arirang filming, while the brand executives were obsessing over rigid protocols and the regal image they wanted BTS to project, Jin was the one consistently breaking the tension with what looked like accidental silliness. But look closer at the timing. He disrupts the corporate flow exactly when the pressure on the younger members becomes unbearable. He is the master of emotional regulation for the group, acting as a pressure valve in an environment of extreme corporate control. In Dubai, when the stakeholders demanded a specific stiff posture for a luxury campaign, Jin would push the boundaries of the handsome idol trope until it became almost a parody, forcing the directors to relax their grip. He represents a unique form of rebellion, the refusal to take the gilded cage seriously. While the handlers were sweating over logistics and the billion-won contract, Jin would be found fishing in the middle of the night or playing games, projecting an aura of, "I am here because I choose to be, not because I have to be." This psychological detachment is vital for the group's mental survival. He is the reminder that their humanity is not for sale. His rebellion is his joy. By refusing to be intimidated by the power of the Dubai stakeholders or the intensity of the handlers, he creates a safe zone for the others to breathe. He obeys the letter of the law while completely mocking the spirit of the corporate machine, making him the most difficult member to truly control, because you cannot control someone who refuses to be impressed by your power. He is the invisible shield, the man who ensures that even in the middle of a desert power play, the group never forgets how to laugh at the absurdity of their own fame. Number 3. Jimin. Park Jimin. The ethereal double agent, and the fragile bridge between perfection and pain. In the psychological hierarchy of the Dubai case file, Park Jimin represents the emotional core, a member whose specific brand of rebellion is so subtle it almost looks like total submission. To the corporate handlers, Jimin is the crown jewel of the Arirang project because he possesses an uncanny, almost supernatural ability to embody the brand's aesthetic. He is fluid, luxurious, and hauntingly beautiful. But as a profiler, I see the tension of the perfectionist. While the handlers see a cooperative artist, but what they are actually witnessing is a man who uses obsessive order as a way to reclaim power from a system that tries to commodify his grace. During the filming in the Dubai heat, Jimin was the one who pushed his body past the point of physiological safety, not because the corporation told him to, but because his own internal standards are more demanding than any contract. This is the martyr complex, a form of rebellion where the artist becomes so perfect that the corporation can no longer find a way to improve or direct them. In the dead of night at the Burj Al Arab, insiders reported Jimin practicing his contemporary sequences until his feet bled, effectively seizing control of the Arirang narrative by making his performance so raw that the brand's corporate control felt shallow in comparison. He is the one who represents the agony of the idol, the constant struggle to remain a human being when the world treats you like a porcelain statue. His obedience is a mask. By giving the handlers exactly what they want in front of the lens, he earns the right to be unreachable behind it. He creates a vacuum of mystery that no marketing team can penetrate. In Dubai, his specific type of rebellion was his vulnerability. By showing the cracks in his own perfection, he forced the production to pivot from a glossy commercial to a cinematic masterpiece of human emotion. He is the bridge that connects the group's soul to the audience. But as we observed him standing on the edge of a sand dune at sunset, it was clear that the bridge is under immense structural stress, held together only by his sheer, defiant will to be more than just a face on a billboard. Number 2. V. Kim Tae-young, the Renaissance saboteur, and the ghost in the Golden Gallery. In the cold, analytical world of the industry handlers, Kim Tae-young is classified as the unpredictable variable, the personification of pure, unadulterated chaos that no corporate contract can fully contain. During the secret Dubai operation, V didn't just walk the line between creative freedom and corporate control, he treated the line as if it didn't exist. While the brand partners and the stakeholders at Hybe had meticulously storyboarded every second of the Arirang MV to highlight the sleek, mechanical luxury of the desert city, Tae-young was the silent disruptor, wandering off-script to find beauty in the decaying, the dusty, and the unpolished. To a psychological profiler, V represents the aesthetic rebel, a man whose loyalty is to the art itself, not the entity paying for the canvas. In our case files, we observed him in the Dubai suites, surrounded by the finest luxuries wealth can buy. Yet, he spent his time obsessing over a single, grainy film photograph he took of a stray falcon or the way the light hit a crumbling brick wall in the old district. The handlers were in a constant state of red alert because V refuses to speak the language of the product. He doesn't care about the ROI or the brand synergy. He cares about the texture of the moment. This makes him the ultimate threat to the gilded panopticon, because he cannot be bribed with more fame or more money. He is already mentally living in a world of his own creation. In the desert, his rebellion was visceral. He would offer a look to the camera that was so hauntingly detached, so anti-commercial, that it forced the directors to change the entire color grade of the project to match his mood. He is necessary for the group's success because he prevents them from becoming a sterile corporate brand. He provides the soul, the weirdness, and the human imperfection that fans crave. His chaos is the salt in the recipe. Without his refusal to be a perfectly behaved ambassador, the Dubai mission would have been a forgettable, shiny advertisement, but through his quiet sabotage, he turned it into a piece of avant-garde cinema that the handlers are still trying to figure out how to market. Number 1. Jungkook, the ultimate singularity, and the paradox of the golden prisoner. At the center of the Dubai enigma stands the golden maknae, the member who represents the most dangerous psychological phenomenon in the K-pop industry, the total fusion of absolute order and unstoppable chaos. To the handlers, Jungkook is the ultimate weapon, a physical marvel who can execute a 20-hour shoot with the precision of a machine, but to a profiler, he is the high-velocity liability. In Dubai, the tension of the Arirang project culminated in him because he is the one the corporate machine wants to control the most, yet he is the one who has outgrown the machine entirely. Our case files reveal a chilling shift during the desert filming. Jungkook wasn't just following the handler's instructions, he was outperforming them to the point of making the staff irrelevant. He is the soldier who became the general. While the brand stakeholders tried to box him into a specific global pop star archetype, Jungkook's rebellion was written in ink across his skin and expressed through a raw, primal energy that threatened to shatter the polished desert aesthetic. He represents the succession crisis of the soul, the moment where the product becomes so powerful that the corporation begins to fear it. In the dead of night, while the luxury hotel was locked down by security, Jungkook was the one pushing the boundaries of the gilded cage, seeking out the most extreme physical and artistic risks, effectively telling the handlers that their corporate control was an illusion he chose to entertain. He is the singularity because he embodies the group's entire journey from puppets to power players. His obedience is a terrifying form of respect. He gives 100% because he demands the same from the universe. And in Dubai, when the Arirang cameras finally stopped rolling, the look in his eyes wasn't one of exhaustion, but of a man who had finally realized he held all the keys to the kingdom. He is the reason the Dubai mission succeeded, and the reason the industry is terrified of what comes next. He is the one who proved that you can give the world everything they want while keeping the only thing that matters: your own wild, untamable spirit entirely for yourself.